everyone, it's April with Hair 101. I'm going to show you how to do a faded haircut with no attachments. These, if you're wondering what attachments are, these little guards, these are attachments. When I went to hair school, I did a barbering program. They had a great program. They had a cosmetology side and then a barbering side. So in order to get your license, you had to spend certain semesters in both. And so I actually learned how to do barbering. So we would do straight edge shaves with the straight edge, and then that was their main thing. We did not even have these at school. They weren't even allowed in the room. These were very, very bad. And the reason why, I always wondered why they told us that. And the reason why I know now is because if you can learn how to cut hair without those and do a great fade without those, you can blend almost anything. It teaches you the basics and the depth, like the little things. If you make a little gouge out of it, how are you going to blend that if it's deeper than that? You can shape the hair and mold it with these two things pretty much any way you want, better than that. And the other thing is that cuts the hair the exact same length all the way up. When you do it this way, it goes from almost bald, very, very gradually. It has a really pretty shape all the way up to...
I don't want to go bald.
Well, I don't want you to go bald either. Not until you're really old.
You do want me to go bald?
If you're 110, I wouldn't mind it. Alright everyone, and I am very excited because this is the video right after we did the giveaway, so guess what that means? We are picking the winner today. So at the end of this video, we're going to announce who won the basket full of my favorite things. And we are very, very excited about giving that away. That's going to be really fun, and hopefully we can get it to you before Christmas. So here we go. We're going to see how much I actually remember from hair school. Okay, so this is closed. And then this is open. I'm going to start with it open, and I'm going to do the very, very edges around here.
Don't you dare.
Well, don't I dare what? This is one of my favorite things, actually. This is my son's aide. He's 7½, and he's very, very fun.
Half
he's
and
a very
quarter.
good model. He's 3/4. 7 3/4. Okay, okay. Here we go. You ready? Okay. You can't wiggle when I do this. You can have a silly time after we're done with your hair. Okay, so you're going to stand in front of where you're working always. And this is the motion from the clippers that you're going to have. It's going to have this curve, like a flick of the wrist. And that's what's going to give you that taper too.
Did I just lose my hair?
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, Zave. I'm going to do the talking from now on, okay? Because I have to teach you how to do this. Okay, so we're going to flip the wrist, and it gets a little tricky over here. You have to tilt their head because you're getting behind the ear right here. And I just kind of go around like this for the first pass just to get that bulk gone. I'm stepping on my cord here. All right. And it needs to be a little more. So it's important that you're not reaching up too high or too low when you're working. You want it to be like right where you kind of rest your arm. And we're going to go ahead and start to flick this up. Alright, and you can even pull that ear down a little bit. Be careful around the ears because you don't want to nick that skin. It's really sensitive right there. If you don't drop a comb a couple times, it's not a good haircut. Right? Okay, now we're to the back, and I'm just going to do the same thing. Just kind of... See, we have this little area all the way around down here, about the same length. Okay, look down. And make sure they're looking down. Okay, now we're going to go to the back. Okay. Here we go. Alright, good job. You're doing great. Okay, look down. Alright. Make sure that your guard's not slipping. Sometimes it'll slowly vibrate and get shorter. I always kind of just keep my finger there. And then around this ear, same as the other one. So So you'll get better at this little flick as you practice. At first it's kind of hard because it's scary just to go in there and just flip it up, but you get the hang of it after the first few times. Okay, look up. There you go.
What is hair getting in my mouth?
Okay, hold still. You gotta hold your head still, because if you move then it messes up the flick. There you go. Yeah, Zayd, I know. Stick your tongue out. There's no hair in your mouth.
I swallowed it.
Oh my gosh. Okay, that means you're talking too much if there's hair in your mouth.
You're crazy.
Oh, you're crazy. I love you, buddy.
Who you calling crazy?
Okay, here. Look up. There you go. Hold still right there. Okay, look straight in the mirror, Zayd. Okay, look down. His hair grows this way, kind of like this. So when I go down here, I kind of have to angle the clippers towards the way the hair grows, just so that it can get the same length. Okay, so we're almost there. Okay, so now that that's done, I'm going to take my...
I like it better without shirt. No, it's already calling. I'll do the same one.
I'm going to take my little key edgers and I'm going to shape out the sideburns. I'm going to do them right there at this line on his ear. And then you wrap around the ear with the corner.
That's good.
And then you shape it out on the sides. Okay, look down again. In the back, I usually just make a line right where the hairline starts. Just be careful not to push too hard because these can pinch skin a little bit sometimes. And you get all the little fuzzies out. We don't like those little fuzzies on your neck, huh? They are cute, but we need to get rid of them. And shape the edge. And then around the ear. And then your sideburn. And to check these, I always just flick right in front of them, make sure they look about the same length. And then I'm really careful around the ears to get all of the little hairs and to make sure you don't cut them. So now our baseline is established, and I'm going to take the clippers and I'm going to close them now. So now they're going to look like this. They were like this for the fade part. Now they're like this. And I'm going to use my comb, and the clippers and fade this from where we have it now up to about the roll of the head right here. You are always going to be standing where you're working. Don't reach around, keep your arms right here. So we're going to comb down, and then we're going to lift up that hair and cut off anything. And you notice I'm kind of angling the comb out a little bit. That's going to help us have a fade. Okay, Zayd, sit up nice and straight. There you go. Thank you, sweetheart. And you go all the way. Okay, so then we're going to move over to the next little section. Alright, so we're just picking up this hair with the comb and blending it all in. And this does take a lot more time, but if you take the time to learn this first, when you're in hair school or when you're first starting cutting hair, it's going to help you in the long run. You're going to be a lot better at all of your cuts, for women's, for men's, everything, because you'll be able to shape hair better. So I'm combing down, and then I'm picking up where I see any heavy lines, picking up and angling that comb slightly, more of like a straight up and down. So if you're, see the comb kind of stays, there's some that we missed, stays on that same plane of like a straight up and down wall. And you can comb the hair sideways if it's growing in funny patterns. Sometimes guys will come in and they have kind of like a hat line right there. If it's really bad, sometimes I'll wash and dry them, because you do need to do this on dry hair just to get that heavy line out so that you can see what you're doing. But if it's just the way their hair grows and they just like, he's just woke up from sleeping, and so I'll kind of pick it up at an angle and just kind of notch out some just to get some of the bulk out of there. Like right here is really heavy. You could take this, here, let's move him. Take this, notch it out, and then go back in and do the cleanup work this way. And sometimes you can go on an angle in the back here. Oh, so pick a spot on the wall. There we go. And then that just helps you kind of blend it up, because you can keep the comb on the bottom of their head and bring it around that way. So you can kind of see this is coming together now. So the reason why I switched as soon as I got into a salon from doing this way in hair school was because I just found it a lot more efficient with time to use the guards. But I'm really, like I said, I'm so glad that I learned how to do it this way, because I can grab a pair of clippers, it doesn't even matter, any pair of clippers that works, and a comb, and I can do a haircut. If I didn't have guards, if I lost my guards, if you don't know what situation you'll end up in someone's house and they don't have them, or, I mean, it's just, and sometimes on my women's haircuts, I can use the clippers to do some detail work around on the shorter haircuts and stuff, and not, because like if you pulled the guard out and did the haircut, it would look really square, and this can just give more shape to your haircut. So you have a lot more freedom. You can decide how short, how long, how drastic you want your taper. That one was to remove the bulk. So we're going to pull it up like this, and then, so I angle the comb like this so that it's short around the face, and then it...
Pushing against my goosebump.
You still have a goosebump?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so it's...
Well, you can't see it, it's just, you can still, I can still feel it.
Okay. Okay, I'm sorry that I did that. I can see that it's bruised a little bit still. Alright, so the reason why we do the angle here is it keeps it short right around the face, and then it gives it a little bit more length as it comes back in here. Because on a good taper, it will kind of, anywhere that the hairline goes is where it's really short, and then it slowly just builds into more thickness. So, and I can even, if your hair is growing away, you can push it forward like this, and then just nick off those little ends. Okay, there you go, hold still right there. You always want to make sure that the person you're cutting is doing their best to look straight. Little kids, it's a lot harder, and that's why it is easier to do the guard on little kids that are wiggling too. But Zayd's being really good. He's being really still for us, like a mannequin, huh, Zayd? Yeah, good job. Not even talking. It's a mannequin. Alright. So now I'm going to look in the mirror and see if we have any big gougy spots or like dark spots. See, there's a dark spot right here. It's probably just a little bit too long. Can you hold still for a second? Okay, hold really still, because I'm going to get this little spot and I don't want to make your haircut yucky. Okay, we're ready to cut this, the top and the sides. So now we're going to take the spray bottle and just get it wet. Strum the hair a little bit and make it saturate through the
Can you spray some on my face?
And I just got my shears sharpened. They feel great. I'm excited. This is the first cut I've done since I got them sharpened yesterday. So
What sharpened?
I got my shears sharpened. I usually cut my hand when I sharpen my shears. A little reckless. Okay, so now that we have it wet, we're going to go here and we're going to start on this side.
This part.
And you can see from all of this hair that we've blended up, see how it has like a little bit of length still in here? That's going to be our guide. And we're going to just take it and cut it straight out at a straight line like this. And I just slowly rotate around his head as I go. There we go. And here's a heavy spot right here. You have to make sure on the back of this head, if you have a weight line, go from right here. You can see that there's hair that barely reaches in my fingertips. That's where you're cutting from. And that will take away your weight line. Oh, sorry. Spray in your face? You want to spray your face? What?
Hair.
Hair in your face? I can't get a towel because of that. Here, let's wipe your face. Is that better?
Does that have poop on it?
It's a butt wipe. No, it is clean. Okay. All right, so I'm right here in the back. I'm going to pull the hair. Okay, you know what? There you go.
Sorry.
So there's my guy. Okay, there's a little bit of bulk right in here that I can go through with these scissors. And I'm just gonna comb over shears and blend that up really soft. Oh, hold still. Okay, hold still.
Can I at least move
No,
my
you can't
toes?
move your anything.
Can I at least move my toes?
Nope. Makes your head wiggle. Are you wiggling your toes? You little snake. I was teasing, you can move your toes. Okay. Thank you for being so patient, Zade. I know this is a long way to cut hair, and it's not hard.
Hard for me.
I meant it is hard. It's not hard for Mom to sit still, but it's hard for Zade to sit still. Okay. All I want for Christmas, that's all you're getting, so. Just kidding. What do you want for Christmas, Zade?
There's 2 swords that we saw at Walmart.
Ooh, 2 swords, okay. Is that what you want from Santa?
Unless you buy it for me.
I'm gonna buy you something. I don't know what it is yet. Maybe underwear.
I already have a lot of underwear.
You're growing up though. You need more.
I have enough.
Okay, fine. Maybe I won't get you that. That's the worst Christmas present, huh? Unless you really need them, I guess. Then it would be a good Christmas present.
Remember when you gave me a pencil and a line?
It was an orange. Well, I told you if you open your Christmas presents early, then they turn into bad Christmas presents. You didn't believe me, but then you did it. You found out the hard way, right? Is that right, Zade?
No, you didn't say that.
I did. I told you that. I said you can have that Christmas present, but if you open it before Christmas, then it turns into a bad present.
I didn't open it before Christmas.
I remember. You remember what happened after you opened the present?
What? I mean, yeah.
What happened?
It was a pencil and an orange.
Yeah, well, what happened?
I threw it at you.
Yeah, and what happened?
I killed myself.
It fell off the pencil and smacked you in the head, huh? That was good. Okay. All right, so I'm just blending the back a little bit more. And so you can cross-check it. Just make sure if you have any more heavy lines right here, just take the shears, lift up the comb, and you just softly nick those ends of that right at the line. And it should blend it in. Okay, looking good. Okay, now we're going to do the top. I'm going to pull it straight up. And then I usually pull it forward just a little bit because that helps give it some length on the top if you pull it forward. And then I'm point cutting. And there are guides. You should be able to see a short section of hair. And I make it just a little bit graduated. So I start from those guides and I point cut and I make it a little bit longer in the top for this haircut. Okay, now we're going to comb it all back.
I look weird.
Yeah, you don't. You look awesome.
Just put a mohawk.
And we're going to do the Mohawk section of the haircut. So you have the guide from the front. And you're going to point cut back. And you just follow your guide all the way to where it should meet up with this one back here. All right. Okay, so now I'm going to do the two side sections, and I'm using the Mohawk and the guide from over here to determine how short I cut the middle section. So I start there and I just make them match. There we go, all the way back. Just moving back like 1/4 to 1/2 of an inch every time, probably 1/2 an inch. And I always cross check when I'm done, but I'm gonna go to this side now.
That's 2 centimeters.
And on this side I found that maybe it's just me, but I usually have to do it this way, how I'm doing now, and then I go back and stand in front also to help match up the guide on the side, because maybe it's just the way I'm holding my fingers or something, but for me that's how I do it to make sure. So I go up here in the front and I just make sure that I didn't miss any. See, there's a little bit of length right there, because I can just see better doing this. And I comb the hair the other way. Okay. Angle my fingers or something. And with his hair, he has these little pieces right here around his face that we like to kind of chop out.
You're cutting off my bangs?
Because when we spike his hair, it goes this way, and so it kind of sticks out a little bit. So I usually take these out and I taper them a little bit, just so that when his hair's sticking up, it doesn't like stick out past where the rest of it is. So just tapering that in. See how it kind of grows the opposite way? It, like right here on his face, it kind of has like a little curl. So I just take it and I lift it out, pull on really still really, and I'll either pull it forward like that and chop it off, or I just kind of lift it like that. And it doesn't do anything except for just make the haircut look like he doesn't have that little spiral there. It's kind of correcting. Because when we spike it, like I said, I don't like it when it looks like he has these 2 pieces that I didn't cut that are sticking out, but they're the same length if you don't cut them. They look longer because of the way that the hair pushes them out, so we fix that. So I just cross-check and make sure that I don't have any really long spots.
How much more time till this is over?
We're almost done. Yeah. So if you want the Mohawk look, it's okay to leave a little bit of length in the middle, but this time I'm trying to make it more blended. Okay, so cross-checking, we cut the hair this way, like in sections like this.
Fluffy hair.
So if you wanted to cross-check, you would pull the hair up the opposite direction. You can kind of see there's little variations, waves. If you see anything really long, you can chop it off. anything longer than the rest. You don't just go chopping into it. It's just if there's something that looks out of place, like, oh, that piece didn't get cut. And it's the reason why they're a little bit different lengths is because when you're pinching the hair like this, it creates that different wave because you're over directing some of the hair into where your fingers are cutting. And so yes, cross-checking is when we pull it up the other way and make sure you don't have any really long pieces. The other thing I like to do is put my fingers in there and kind of just feel it and make sure that the sides are both about the same. All right, and there you have it. That's how I learned how to cut hair. I hope that I made my instructors proud by not doing it with the guards, but like I said, I use the guards now because it's faster, and that's just what I do.
Greetings from Utah. We are here to announce the winner of the giveaway, the favorite things. Nope, I'm gonna try it again. Greetings everyone from Utah. We are going to announce, no, that is Lehi. Greetings everyone from snowy Utah. We are going to announce the winner of our favorite things giveaway. It is Lori Coughlin. Congratulations, we are so excited. Here's your basket and we will be shipping it to you as soon as you contact us through Facebook and let us know what your address is. Merry Christmas.